You don't even. I know. And I don't think that was the right way either. Hi, guys. It's Kaylee.
And it's your girl, Emily.
And this is Picture Perfect.
I just want to put that out there already because this is our first episode where we're in person. And we have
This is not our first episode where we're in person.
Well, I was getting there, recording in person and a video component.
Right, yes.
We've graduated from recording like in person when we were back at school.
Yes.
And then when we moved back home, or you moved back to Charlotte, and I was still in Wilmington, we recorded via Zoom. And then finally I came here where we were finally able to record in person. But then sometimes now we record via Zoom, like if our weeks get busy. Mm-hmm. But it's all been just straight audio. So we haven't had like a video component. And this is like our first ever video component in person with great audio. And we're together.
Yeah.
Like 3 for 3.
No, honestly, we check off the audio. It should be good. And if it's not good, we drop some money on that. So it better be good.
Honestly.
Good audio, hopefully. We have video, which I'm so excited about because we've talked about it now for so long. Like, we're just like, one day, guys, one day. And for a while now, we've had the stuff, but we needed to figure everything out. And that's what we took today to do.
And it took us
a hot minute, It's late now. It's like 7 at night on a Sunday.
Ooh, jinx.
But I think it'll get better as we go because we'll
get used to it.
We'll get in the swing of things, you know?
I mean, lights, camera, action, I could get used to it. Just saying.
But I love it. It just feels so, like, professional.
And, like, the next step would be, like, merch. Some stickers. If you guys were listening to last week's episode, we were talking about it because I want, like, an iPad and, like, a stencil so I can start doing some art. And I want to do stickers so bad. So bad.
You should just honestly start.
I think
you should just start mocking them up.
But the thing is I need the iPad and the stencil first.
Oh, that's true.
However, I'm going to put this out there. I'm a little, not going to say tight on money, but guess what, guys? I'm finally moving out.
There's so many, like, there's so much news in this one.
I know.
I love it.
A video, I don't know, I just did, if you guys watched that, I was like,
video, moving out. I guess, like, nothing on my end, but
Kaylee's like, my life's still the same.
I mean, pretty much the same. No updates there. But yes, you're moving out. And where?
I am moving out kind of in the Charlotte area, but with my sister and one of our good friends. So, like, next weekend, next Saturday. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have my own place. So that's kind of what's been occupying my time this week. But that's also what's been taking my money. Who knew being an adult is so expensive?
We all knew.
Okay, that's fair.
And it's deterring your Halloween weekend.
That is true. It is kind of messing up my Halloween plans, but we're gonna kind of make some new ones because now we get to do some Halloween things together.
Yes,
which is like better.
Dare I say better?
Dare I say better? I was supposed to go to Charleston and hang out with my other good friends from college, and to be fair, I'm really sad because Charleston is so much fun. Just because it is a college town, so it is more of a younger crowd, but the bars are fun. Everyone like dresses up, so it is a lot of fun. So I will miss that, but I think Kaylee and I are gonna do a bar crawl, and then I think one of my sister's friends are doing like kind of like a kickback Halloween party. So maybe if you want to come to that, I mean, here's the invite right now.
News to me.
I'll say here's the invite right now.
Like Saturday night, and then the bar crawl Sunday,
something like that. Or
it's gonna be a jam-packed week.
Or I think there's like maybe the party's like actually Halloween night. It's during the weekend.
That so I cannot do.
We can show up for a little bit. The silence.
I was just thinking about it in my head. I can't do anything on actual Halloween.
Why?
I have plans.
Oh. Okay, so we just saw.
Well, this is before that. So my entire friend group just X'd Halloween this year. Like, we weren't going to do anything.
Okay.
And I was crushed because I think I've already talked about this on the podcast, but I have been gone the last 2 years and I have not gotten to celebrate Halloween.
Gone where?
Greece last year.
I haven't been able to celebrate Halloween because I was in Greece.
I mean, like, I'll take that over celebrating Halloween any day, but Greece, and then the other year was Arizona, California. I was on, like,
Wow.
yes.
Those are really
So,
great
some fun
excuses.
trips.
Yeah.
I can't complain. But I was really excited this year to finally dress up and just have a nice Halloween with my friends. Because, like, I was talking about this with my friends, like, what is the age where you, like, stop? Is there one?
When you did. Because I
Okay.
plan on dressing
Yeah.
up, but until whenever. Like, I wanna be that friend that, like, throws the Halloween parties
Okay.
at the apartments, but then I also, like, as I get into the stage of, like, having a family, hopefully, we'll get there, I don't know. But, like, I wanna dress my kids up, and I wanna have, like, little I mean, to be fair, when they're younger, like, it's hard to have, like, a one-year-old Halloween party. I mean, go strong with the one-year-olds crawling around, maybe. Do they crawl? I don't know.
I
Anyways,
have no sense of age. Like, I couldn't even tell you what, like, a two-year-old looks like. Like, I don't know.
I don't know,
What
small?
I have no idea what age you start walking.
We're gonna skip past this because we are not like a
We're
maternity
not there yet.
podcast.
But, like, I understand once you this is, like, wobbling. I understand once you are a parent,
Yeah,
it then trickles down to the kids and you know, celebrate Halloween
yeah.
that way. I understand that. But the in between, like, I mean, I'm gonna be 25 this January,
Hmm.
which
That is crazy.
I know. Anyways, but, like, I don't know when I'll have kids. And, like, I guess I just keep going? Like,
She said, "Just keep
my
going."
friends have already checked out, so, like, I can't be doing this
I think it
alone.
kind of just depends with like where you're at in life. Like
Yeah.
right now, everyone's pretty much, at least at our age, I feel like just really going for their careers. I mean, I say that, but then I see so many people from my high school getting married and having kids, and I'm like, am I behind? Because I'm just now moving out of my parents' house. And if you
Well,
guys don't know my
we're not doing
timeline,
that. We're not doing that.
what?
But am I behind?
Well, that's what I'm saying is that's everyone's on different timelines.
Yes. Some
But
people are celebrating Halloween, some people aren't.
that's what I'm saying. But like at least for me, I want to celebrate Halloween. Like I
No, I
literally
do
told
too. I do too.
like
But
I told my friends I was like I want to dress up like right now this Halloween though is not giving sexy to me. Like you know how when you're young people like to dress up like very like
mhm,
sexy and stuff like that. This year
like college Halloween.
yeah, yeah. But this year that's not what I wanted to give. I wanted to give like dress up like Phineas and Ferb or
Okay.
or like
Or she a grandma.
a grandma was the other one, and I'm talking like the suit with the when I say suit, I'm talking about like I say a fat suit, but just that's because it's more stereotypical with like the big booty and
The wig, the
the wig, the
glasses.
glasses, like the
Draw some wrinkles
nightgown.
on.
Yeah, draw some wrinkles on, like a little
Mrs.
walker.
Doubtfire
Yes,
vibes.
exactly, and like full send.
Yeah.
Or like one of those inflatable costumes, like that are funny, like
Oh my
an
god.
alien's carrying you or something like
Oh
that.
my
Like
god, yeah.
that's what I wanted to go for this year.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna stop you from doing that, but like we were talking about earlier, I think I should be an espresso martini and you should be a dirty martini.
I need to see this though.
Okay, I
'Cause,
will
like,
sh
what is a what is a dirty martini
They're really,
costume?
really cute. Let me go on Pinterest really quick. I saw them on TikTok and I think they're gonna be very basic this year because it was like Halloween ideas. But oh, I'm on airplane mode. I was like, why do I not have connection?
We put on airplane mode so we wouldn't get notifications, and Kaylee's like, "No one's gonna be texting me, so why does it matter?" And then here she is needing
Here I
Wi-Fi.
am needing.
But I don't like. Does one dress like sexier than the others, like espresso
No, no, no,
martini and
no.
then a dirty
They're
espresso martini, or is
the
it like
see
funny?
the thing is, um, they are like exactly the same, but
Mm-hmm.
like with different details. So it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Martini Halloween costume. My God, where did I see this? Okay, I'll show you later. But they're really cute. It's like a white tank with like for you it would be like dirty martinis on your nipples. For me it would be an espresso martini on my nipples. But like it's a tank top.
Okay.
Calm down. It's not
Okay,
like
okay.
pasties. Like
As I was saying, we're not going for sexy this year. We're going for funny. And Katie's up here like pasties.
we're going for porn.
I was like,
No.
that's not what we're going for.
No, it's a tank, like a white tank top.
I gotcha.
With
Okay.
that there. And then like a sequin skirt and yours is like green for like the olive and mine's brown.
Okay.
And you have like, you know, like brown shoes, green shoes, brown
Okay.
bag. It's really
I
cute.
gotcha. So it's
really
not
cute.
like a funny like.
It's not funny.
What's
It's
the
not
word?
a blow up espresso martini.
Okay.
Like
or like
where
a
you're
one
walking
where it's like
around.
one of those big things that you just throw on over your head and it
No.
like looks like a martini.
It's cute. It's
Okay.
like more cute vibes. But I think that would be really cute if you and I dressed up as that.
I've
And then we
always
can record next week's episode with those on for Halloween.
Oh, true. I keep thinking in my head like a very comical, like
No.
espresso martini.
You should have known because, like, I wouldn't.
I would do that.
I
I would
wouldn't.
so record an episode wearing that. I kid you not. I would be
Maybe-
like, Happy
maybe
Halloween.
next year. Happy
So, yeah.
Okay.
But-
Well, anyways, back to what I was saying. I didn't have Halloween plans, and then finally I was like, guys, we need to do something because I wanted to have a party, and essentially no one could come.
Yeah.
So can't really have a party if you don't have any guests.
Fair enough. I mean, you party of one.
I mean, me and my cat.
Okay, party of 1.2. She's so tiny.
But we're just gonna like watch Halloween movies.
That's gonna be cute, actually.
On actual Halloween. So cannot come to that, but I will be there for the bar crawl.
I'm excited. I would be totally down to do the
And we can wear our
rotations.
drinks.
That is true.
And then you can wear your funny one on actual Halloween.
That is very true.
That's perfect.
Ah,
So I'm
perfect.
just saying.
Okay.
Perfect.
Well, with that, we're gonna finally get into our episode a little bit. We're
Yes.
still do our intro and stuff, but instead of kind of doing our question of the week, we'll kind of switch it up a little bit. But I want you to recap your weekend, so they kind of know a little bit about what's going on.
Okay. Well, honestly, not too much. On Friday, I just picked up some dinner. I actually watched the Heather McMahon live show on Netflix.
Oh,
with
okay.
Netflix with some of my friends. Because if you guys have listened to the last few episodes, you would know that I went to her comedy show. It wasn't like a live show
Mhm.
for her podcast. She does have one, but it was just like a comedy show. And that was the first time that I've ever heard of her.
Mm-hmm.
She was really, really funny. And so those same people, we decided to watch the live show on Netflix. And it was good. I will say it was from her tour, like her last tour, not the one that we saw.
Okay.
It was worse than her one this time. Not like in a bad way. It was just like
It was worse, but not in a bad way.
the jokes weren't hitting as much in the beginning. It was very
Okay.
like I don't know. In my personal opinion, it wasn't hitting as much as this one did. Like I was sitting in my chair at this present tour and was just like cackling. Like I was just cackling.
I love that word.
I was just laughing out loud at everything from start to finish. And this one, it took a little bit for me to get into it.
Okay.
If that shows you anything. She ate, like at the
She ate.
by the end, it was great.
Gotcha.
It was great. And the jokes hit. But just in the beginning, it didn't
Okay.
fully reel me in.
Okay, I mean, I get
if you
that.
will. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen her though, like any of her shows.
Yeah. I mean,
so I can't say anything.
yeah.
So I'm gonna just take you at your word.
I still haven't listened to her podcast and I need to because she's really funny. But
Yeah.
so that's what I did on Friday. And then yesterday, I went and got coffee, had breakfast, and then I went to this vintage market. You would have loved it. I
was
know.
about to say, where was I?
You
I
weren't
was
here.
busy. I will say I
You
was
weren't
busy,
here.
but
But I went to this vintage market at Camp North End.
okay.
I think it was, I don't know if it's like, I think it was only open yesterday. But it was a
Like,
bunch.
like as a one-time thing.
Mhm.
Ah,
It was where they do the theaters, like the free movies. The theaters. The free movies. Do you know what I'm talking about?
no.
Oh, okay. Well,
She said no. Surprise.
well, in that building that's like in Camp North End, they'll show movies, and I think it's free.
Okay.
And you just like go and like you can like sit and watch it.
Oh, okay.
I've
That's
only
kinda
done
cool.
it once. Yeah, it's cool. But that's where it was, and it was just a bunch of different vendors, like selling different like knickknacks and things.
Mhm.
And there was like a little small like entry fee, but it was really cute. Like I
I love that type of stuff.
know it really felt like a giant like yard sale, but in the best way.
I love yard sales.
I loved it.
The only part about yard sales that I don't like is getting up at 6 a.m. because you've got the
Right.
people that love
And I went
yard
at 3,
sales.
so like perfect.
That's nice.
I know. So we did that, and I, of course, walked away with something, but of course it wasn't vintage. It was like the least vintage thing I could.
What did you get?
That candle.
Oh, wait, that's so cute.
I know. And it
Stop.
smells so good.
I was going to say, okay, but I love that though.
And it was like a local business. So like
okay.
I had to
Kaylee's
buy,
looking at it. It's not in
it's not in the
picture.
frame.
It's not in the frame, but it's really cute.
It is really cute, and it smells. It's like an
I actually
autumn
really
fall
like.
scent.
I say I really like.
It smells
that smell.
really, really good.
The other candle you gave me, not this one. It's right here. The other one, the green one. It's really cute. It's I love it, but it smells like it's like deep cleaning the inside of my brain,
Oh, I love it.
and it makes me like, "Ugh." Anyways.
It's interesting how, like, I can smell something and love it, and then you can smell the exact same thing and hate it.
Mhm.
Like, perfumes, like, it's just I don't know where I
I
was
will
going with
say
that.
though, I do like your perfume. You influenced me by it.
I did.
So, you're an influencer.
I mean, stop.
So,
I'm
stop.
just kidding. But, yeah, and then I worked out both days because 75 soft, baby. Going strong.
How is that going?
It's it's not hard, but it's also because, like, I'm being lenient with myself. So, like, if
Yeah.
I was doing 75 hard, I would probably be saying something different right now, but, I mean, I'm really just working out daily, drinking a bunch of water, listening to my TED Talks,
So, doing what we probably
eating
should be doing.
healthy. It's yeah, I mean, really, the only reason that I decided to do it is just to try and develop, like, healthy habits.
Yeah.
My goal for 24, my year of being 24, was to establish healthy habits because I heard something that was like, once you're 25, your habits are solidified, and it's much harder to, change your habits.
Oh,
And I could be making that up. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I heard, and so I'm panicking
I
because
was about to
I'm
say
about to be
that's
25, and I don't have good habits. So, like, I'm panicking a little bit, and I'm like, "What can I do?" 75 songs.
okay, you still have a couple of months. You got
I know.
it. You got it, okay?
I'm like, I gotta freaking go to bed early. I gotta wake up early. I gotta have a morning and night routine. I gotta eat healthy, work out. Like, it's a lot.
That
It's
is
a
a lot.
lot.
Oh my gosh. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
You got it.
Thank you. No, but it really is going well. I would say that the hardest thing is being like, I don't eat unhealthy, but it's like,
Mhm.
sometimes you want more carbs than you do
Yeah.
vegetables or
See, but I'm
something.
a firm believer in, of course, trying to eat healthy and start those healthy habits. However, being again, this is coming from somebody who kind of struggles with an unhealthy eating relationship
Yeah.
with food. I like that you are still like kind of giving your body kind of what you're wanting a little bit, like treating yourself, being able to not be so restrictive. So
Yeah.
you're making it worse for yourself, but being able to just kind of motivate yourself to eat healthier and take care of your body a little bit more when sometimes we just kind of neglect that. Like
Yeah.
eat, like working out and being consistent with that. Like that's great for our bodies, but like work gets in the way and relationships or just life stuff.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
so I kind of like that. Like 75 soft is definitely something that I think I should probably do.
It's more
Granted, I have another year on you. Like I'm 23. So I'm a little, I have a little less stress, but
you have
yikes.
more time for your
Yeah.
habits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's very manageable the way I'm doing it because it's not me sitting over here making excuses like if I want that cupcake, I'm going to eat that cupcake because
Yeah.
whatever. Like it's really just I am listening to my body and like, we had breakfast sandwiches today
Mhm.
with like eggs and bacon and like I'm
Yeah.
not going to sit here and cry about it. And also like if you listen to our last episode, what?
I love eggs and bacon, so I would never cry over it.
I
I'll be
mean,
like,
no, like it's delicious. But if you listen to our last episode, it was all about eating disorders and disordered eating. And Emily and I really dove into like our relationship with food. And so that's something that I have to be careful
mhm.
with doing this because I want to be disciplined enough to actually, make this a challenge for myself and
Mhm.
step out of my comfort zone a little bit. But I'm already doing that with like being conscious of what I'm making each week with my recipes and trying to incorporate more fruits and vegetables and you know, all of that. But like, I don't need to go crazy to the point where I'm
That's true.
depriving myself of things that I want. Like, it's a fine line, but it's like
Snap, 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 snap.
like I'm not gonna count.
Hold on, sorry, I want to interrupt you. Went to snap and I
Mm.
said the word snap.
You didn't stop.
That's no, I was like snap, snap, snap. Like the whole purpose of not of so you're not being loud. But
Oh.
anyways, I was like I was saying snap when I there's sounds for it. Sorry, keep going.
No, you're good. But yeah, like I'm not counting calories. I'm not tracking macros. Like I'm just gonna try to be more conscious of like eating whole foods, less processed foods. But
Yeah,
I'm gonna eat what I want.
yeah,
Because it would not
Good.
be manageable if I didn't, and I would something would spike and it would be bad. So like
Yeah.
that's what we're doing.
Good for you.
Thank you.
That's exciting.
Thank
and then you know what?
Thank you.
You're welcome. But now we're here and it's Sunday, so and we're recording. That's
Yes.
basically everything that we've done
Yeah,
today.
that was my weekend. So what'd
But-
you do?
So Friday, I helped because since I'm moving in with my sister, helped my sister pack a little bit. She has to move out from her apartment because she's going to sublease it a little bit earlier than I do because I live at home. So helping her pack a little bit, and I will be doing that during the week. I am just really bad at like
Time management?
not time management. It's just I work better under pressure. So like the 2 days
Oh.
before I have to move out, I think that's when I'm gonna do a
Mm.
lot of my packing,
Okay.
which is a little stressful because I'm still working.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I helped her pack, and then on Saturday I went to the North Carolina State Fair, which was so much fun. Like
Is that
it,
what it's called? Raleigh State Fair?
I thought it was like NC State Fair. Wait,
North Carolina
yeah.
State? Wow.
I,
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll look
It's
it
in
up.
Raleigh.
Yeah, it's in Raleigh, and they basically do like every year for like I want to say like the month of October, right? But they have like certain dates and stuff. But you can buy tickets online or you buy it at the gate. But my recommendation would be to buy it online because the line to do it there. We got there like early, like 10:30, and we didn't leave until like 8:30. So
Oh,
it was a
wow.
long
Wow.
day. But when we left at 8:30, the line to get in was insane. Like if I was that person to go, like if I was trying to get in at that time, I would have just said like F it and not gone
Yeah.
because that's insane. But they have so much food. Like that's my favorite part of the year because like I literally ate so much. I kid you not. I ate I'm gonna list it because I have no shame. I
Okay.
ate a chocolate apple. To be fair though, I stayed from 10:30 to 8:30.
That's a long day of eating.
It's a long day.
Yeah.
But when I got there, I ate a donut, which I say that, but there, I'm gonna forget the name of the place. I have a picture on my phone, but there is this place, and they make the best donuts and pretzels. Like I'm talking the best I've ever had in my life. I hand on the Bible. Like I kid you not, it is so good.
Well, what's the place?
Let me look. It's in my pictures because I took a picture of it and I was like I have to. Um, I don't know if they're based in Raleigh or if they have other locations, but I have so many pictures from the fair. Um, oh, Peachy's Baking Company.
Okay.
So they had a stand there, which it was there last year and the year before, and every year I've gotten like a
But it's an
pretzel.
actual place.
Yes, actual place. So I got a donut when I got there, and then surprisingly for breakfast, a Korean corn dog. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't love it though, but like it looked really good. It looked like the one I got was more like a potato, so it looked like a hash brown to me.
Okay.
So that's kind of the vibe I was going for. It didn't taste exactly like I thought it would be, so it was okay. It was $17. Was it worth it?
Not sure
I
on
tell
that
myself
one.
that it was, but I got a chocolate apple, which was like towards the end of the night. But when I got there, so it was donut, Korean corn dog.
This
Then it
isn't that
was-
much.
No, not yet. We're still getting there.
Oh.
We
Well,
still
you
have
were like at night apple. So
That's I got because
we
I
skipped a lot of hours
yeah,
already.
Yeah, sorry. And then for lunch, to be fair though, there was a bunch of us, so I did kind of like have bites of food of like other people's as well.
Mhm.
So there's this place where you could do like macaroni and like chicken and stuff on top of it. It was so good, like in a cup, banging. And then I got fried pickles. I got fries from this place called like Owl's Fries. The best fries also that I've ever had. Like I get these same things religiously every year. It's so good. So I got like, and it was like a large, so it was like this.
Oh, you get these every year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like it's called Owl's Fries, and then it was the fried pickles. I think it's like Chester's fried pickles. I can't remember all the names, but these are like everywhere. And then I got, oh my gosh, there's so much more that I ate. Fries, fried pickles, apple, donut. Oh, I got a pretzel
Another-
from that same place too, but that was
Okay.
like a midday snack. And then I to be fair, in the years before I've gotten a turkey leg before,
No, that's
but like I
A
tried it
lot.
once. Yeah, it's a lot, so I always have to like I had to share it. But to be fair, it always just looks so good in like advertising. I don't know what it is about it, but like I just want to like take it, and,
yeah.
But like
It tastes good. It's just it's
see, but for me, like I think the one that I got last year was like
Oh.
because like I ate like 2 bites of it and I was like that like satisfied like the craving. Like I
Yeah.
wasn't like I want to.
They're
go back
just
for more.
massive.
Yeah,
Like
it was like they're like this big. Like
they're big.
they're like I feel like I'm like a
Yeah.
Viking or something.
Mhm.
But anyways, I can't really. There's more.
I mean, I think we get the picture.
Okay,
Not
we
to
get the
like
pic- we get the
stop you,
picture,
like,
but
you
no,
can
I
keep
was
going.
so full. And to be fair, right now I'm craving that pretzel again, like from that place. Oh, so good. But they have rides.
You know what I'm craving?
What? Soda shop? Did I guess it right? Soda shop. I'm so good. I would love some chicken tenders and fries right now and ranch. What? You had me scared.
It closed at 7.
This bitch. This bitch.
Oh,
Anyways.
I'm gonna cry.
Were you thinking about getting it afterwards?
Yeah.
Love that. Love that.
You're like, I gotta go home.
It was either Soda Shop, North Italia, or Haberdish.
Ooh.
Haberdish.
Yeah.
Not like we didn't just spend $36 on breakfast this morning. Anyways.
And equipment. And I know you said you had to go home, but
Yeah.
like Haberdish.
Honestly. But anyways, to wrap up this intro.
Sorry.
Saturday was spent all day at the fair. There was rides, games. I did win like a little stuffed animal, which was so cute. And then on Sunday, this where we're at.
I keep searching and I'm on airplane mode. I'm sorry. Continue.
She's like, continue. Anyways, but now we're here and it is 7:30 on a Sunday, which to be fair, you guys are going to watch this on a Thursday. So
it's open till 10.
Oh,
we're having wait like I'm sorry. I'm not tuning out. I'm just like chicken tenders.
She's like, we're going here afterwards.
Like,
I mean, we're dressed for it. Like, we can't waste the outfits.
No, like we got already. I mean, I'm a little overdressed for Haberdish, but like we can make it work.
I'm down.
Are you really?
Chicken tenders and ranch, my dude.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, but now that we have our kind of intro over, we are kind of switching things up a little bit where we're actually going to, instead of do our weekly question of like what we did for ourselves and for others, we just thought it'd be more beneficial to do what we call the report of the week or kind of, of the week.
Weekly report.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And this is inspired by like a TikTok trend.
Oh, I was about to say, it's giving Lion King. Like when they're like, it's the morning report.
What?
Not on the same wavelength. Anywho, okay.
No, what?
It's like
I've seen all those movies. That is not
Lion King. Remember the bird? Zazu?
That is not.
Yes. He's like, it's the morning report.
No.
It's literally a song.
Literally in what movie?
The first Lion King.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
Do we want to prove this right here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm also on airplane mode. We need to not put it on airplane mode because we have things to look up.
We have things to look up.
But let me look at it. The Morning Report song Lion King. I'm not going to lie. I don't know what the name of the song is. It's literally, the song is called The Morning Report.
What's the scene?
When it, like the
No,
dad,
show me the scene.
Mufasa is walking.
I don't believe him.
Oh my gosh. Mufasa.
I know these movies.
Oh wait, there's an ad. Hold on. Let me
I know these movies.
It's literally when Mufasa's walking with Simba and hold on, let me see if I can pull it up, like full screen it.
Yes, Simba, but let me explain. When we die, our bodies become
Okay, so you know the scene we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Morning report. Fire away. Chimps are going ape. Giraffe remain
He-
above it all. Elephants remember that.
He just said morning report. He didn't say the morning report.
Hold on.
This is the morning report.
I proved you. I proved you wrong.
What? That's a Mandela
I
effect.
knew it. I'm sorry.
That's a Mandela
feeling great
effect
about
right
myself.
there. I don't remember that ever happening.
Oh my God. Well, anyways, so that's what I was saying. It's giving morning report. But we are doing the report of the week and kind of what we've been doing or what we're going to do, just stuff like that. And each letter kind of stands for like a part of it. So like R stands for what we're reading. E stands for what we're eating. This is all kind of rhyming. Wow. Bars right there. But then P is,
Bars.
sorry, playing.
Bars.
Bars. O is obsessing. R is recommending. And T is treating. And I had to read this off my phone because I'm never going to remember it.
And we did not come up with this. This is a TikTok trend.
Yes, we're not original here. Anyways, love that for us. But we're just quickly going to go through it and then we're going to get into our episode of the week.
Do you want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay. So I am not actually reading.
Oh.
For mine.
Way to start it off.
Yeah, it's funny to start it off with something I'm not doing. But like I said, I feel like I've talked so much about this, but for 75 Soft, a part of it is reading, but we're not doing that. We're doing TED Talks. So like 10 to 15 minute podcast to learn something new, essentially. So that's what we're doing, and that's what I'm counting as my reading.
Okay.
So yeah.
I am actually reading. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm sticking to it.
Yes.
I am reading I'm a reading.
I'm a reading.
I'm a reading. I'm reading Atomic Habits by James Clear.
I do want to read that.
You can borrow it.
Is it good?
So far, so good. I have had it for a bit, and I've just now actually started to get back into it because I just need some self-help. I just feel like I think it's like I go in phases of like, I want to read some self-help stuff, but then I'm like, oh, I can't handle that right now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, in the beginning, I think like maybe what chapter or two in, but basically so far it's been talking about how like we make decisions and how likely we are to stick to them and like how we fall off of it. And to give an example, you're saying that you're doing 75 soft. A lot of times if you see the TikTok trend, people will fall off or they're like, oh, it's really hard, like day 10, like I just really want to quit, like stuff like that. It goes through like how to change our thought process on things like that and being able to commit. So making habits, like that's what's called atomic habits. So it's being able to really build in healthy habits for yourself and keep them. So I'm starting to get into that a little bit. It's like there's a lot of charts in there. So very informative. But so far so good. I definitely like 10 out of 10 would recommend it so far. At least I'm starting it, but at least just to read.
Yeah.
Because I think that's so helpful.
No, I do. And maybe it'll help me reach my habit goal faster to 25.
Before you hit 25.
Yeah.
God forbid.
God forbid.
Anyways. Okay. So what are you doing for eating?
So I put chai lattes.
Okay. Is it because it's fall?
Fall. Yeah.
Okay.
Like if you guys listened to our fall episode where we talked about our ins and outs and all of that, I think one of my ins was chai lattes. And I'm actually drinking one right now.
With our picture perfect
with our
mug.
picture perfect mugs. Like,
okay.
Cutie. Yeah, chai lattes. I've been ordering them everywhere I go.
Okay.
It's just, it's fall in a cup. Like, you have to.
You said fall
it's
in a
fall
cup.
in a cup. Like.
See, I am a chai latte person when
all
it's
year
hot.
Round? Oh.
When it's hot and in the fall. But I know you like yours iced.
No.
What? Didn't you like it iced?
No.
Who likes it iced?
This is hot.
Well, not in that one. I'm talking about in general. Don't you like it iced?
No.
Okay, well. Wrong
If
friend.
I said that somewhere, like, please someone dig it up. But, like, I don't think I've ever said that. I'm a hot coffee year-round kind of girl.
Oh, my gosh. Who is that, then? Wrong friend.
Also, I need to specify dirty chai lattes, not just chai lattes.
Okay. I like both. I think it depends on.
I do not need it. It's 7:30, and I'm drinking caffeine, but.
That's okay. That's okay.
That is what it is. Okay, what are you eating?
Pumpkin bread. Not to be like
pumpkin bread.
But it, like you said, it's fall, and I feel like I don't really make pumpkin bread like outside of the fall time.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It would be weird.
Yeah.
Pumpkin
right?
anything would be kind of weird any other season.
Yeah. But I mean, to be fair, people eat it year round. Like people love the flavor of pumpkin, but like I feel like pumpkin just screams fall. And it just matches the vibes. And it's just that sounded so like Valley Girl. It just matches the vibes.
Have you tried the pumpkin bread from Trader Joe's?
I have not.
Try it. It is so good. And I do not like pumpkin.
Okay.
And I love this.
Okay.
My friends and I made it, and honestly, I didn't really help make it. So I don't know.
So is it a box, like a kit, or does it already come made?
It's a box.
Okay.
I don't know if it comes with chocolate chips or if that was an addition that my friends put in. Yeah. I don't know. But if it's not, put in chocolate chips.
I love chocolate chips in anything.
Good.
I'm not gonna lie. I love chocolate chip pancakes. I love chocolate chip banana bread. Pumpkin chocolate chip
zucchini
muffins,
bread.
Zucchini. I love it. It's because it's just, like the chocolate cuts it a little bit. It doesn't feel as healthy.
No.
You know?
No.
But anyway, so that's what
good.
I'm doing is pumpkin bread. And I think what's the next thing?
Playing.
Oh, playing.
Playing.
I am playing pickleball.
Yes, you are.
Honestly,
pickleball queen.
Couldn't figure out what to say for this. And the first thing Kaylee said was pickleball. I was like, facts.
Yeah.
Facts, because to be fair, my mom got me into it because she's been playing pickleball. And then I bought paddles. And I keep telling Kaylee to come play with me.
Well.
And you never do.
Maybe one day.
It's just a bigger thing of ping pong. And then a smaller thing of tennis.
Yeah, and I'm bad at both.
Well, we could get you good at pickleball.
Maybe.
Kaylee's like,
maybe.
No hope.
So I put our podcast equipment and our video equipment because we've been playing with it all day. All day. I feel like a tech god. So
to be fair though, we also played with this like a week ago too.
I know.
When we got the stuff in.
Yeah. But not just that too. I think I might want to start a YouTube channel.
Amazing.
I don't know.
I would love if you did. I would watch your videos.
It's been a dream of mine for so long, like my entire life. Like I was one of those kids that like grew up making like music videos and putting them on YouTube and like singing videos and putting them on YouTube. They're all gone now, so don't even try to look them up. They're all gone.
Kaylee's like, I have deleted my history from the internet, except for this.
Except for this.
Except for
This is here.
This is your
to
debut.
stay. This is my debut.
Your debut.
Gotta go out with a bang, or go in with a bang, not out with a bang. But yeah, I don't know. So I've been kind of playing with that too.
I would love if you did one.
I've
I've
been-
also wanted to do one, but at the same time, I am not as cohesive as you are. Like you are.
What does that mean?
You are very good about making things like look aesthetically pleasing and
Oh
like
my god!
just
People like real though. People don't want to just watch a pretty vlog. Like they like
But
real.
at the same time, like at least for me, I think wow
Prefer?
I prefer something that has like a combination of both because it's like I want to
I
be
do
like
too.
that, but then I also like the realness of it, so it doesn't feel as fake and not as relatable.
Mhm.
But for our TikTok accounts are very different. Like yours are very cohesive, like very cute.
But mine aren't. Mine are like outfit videos. They're
yeah,
not, like
but mine are like
these are funny. They're
They're-
more funny.
they're a little chaotic. It gives
They're,
chaos.
they're a little chaotic,
It gives chaos.
but like funny.
Like I'll be joking around one video and then I'm crying in the next and then I'm joking and I'm saying something. I don't know. Chaos. Okay. So I think that's why this podcast just makes so much sense because you are the one that helps all of the everything matching because I am trying to put my room together too and I'm like, help me. Does this dresser go
I
with
did
this bed?
design our setup, so
Yeah. And I am,
hopefully you like it.
I don't know. What am I?
You're the pretty
Personality?
face.
Oh, personality?
I'm the brains behind the operation, and you're the personality and the pretty face.
But you have a pretty face too. So I was like, I can't even say that. Like, I can't even say that. Anyways,
You're the tits.
that I do have. That I do have. I'm not going to lie.
I'm just thinking about someone editing this. Sorry.
Sorry to our editor, first of all.
Sorry.
But, anywho, after we established that, what have I been? I can't say what I've been playing with because that just sounds so wrong.
What have you been playing?
Oh, wait, we just talked about, I was playing pickleball.
Oh, yeah.
But still,
Yeah.
that sounded so wrong. Like, after
Yeah.
you brought up tits. Anyways.
Sorry. Moving on.
Okay, but
Moving on to obsessing.
obsessing. I have been obsessing, kind of going along with the theme of like the podcast and my room, but I've been doing both of those things.
Mhm.
A little bit of the podcast, I'd say more today, but recently a lot more like obsessing over like decor and like just housing things. Like it makes me so happy. Like to plan my kitchen area and like
love
the living room. And to be fair, it's probably gonna be a little crazy and like not cohesive at first. Like I feel like that's how it always is when you move in because you can actually get things set up and see what you're missing and what you want and stuff like that. So it's going to be a little crazy probably about a couple of weeks, but I'm just really excited to get it all together.
Yeah. No, I love that.
So what about you?
Okay. I watched this last night. It's a movie. And I love thriller, horror, but more so psychological thriller where
What
like
was it?
I
I feel like
building up the suspense.
oh, because I'm like, did I show it to you?
No.
Oh, so it's not the one I showed you.
What'd you show me?
I can't remember the name of it.
I don't think you showed me.
Okay,
I don't think you've seen it.
all right,
And we need to watch it.
okay,
So don't you dare watch it without me.
okay.
Because I want to watch it.
But
with
you've
you.
already watched it.
I want to watch it again.
Okay,
Now that I like know, I can like pick up on more things.
okay.
I do like watching them, you know? Like once you
Mhm.
already like anyways. It's called The Menu. Have you seen it?
Wait, I have seen it.
Wait, really?
It's oh my gosh, with the girl that
The redhead?
Yes,
Fuck, you've seen it?
I have seen it.
No, I want to watch it. with
But
you.
that was so good. That
it
was
was
like
so good.
it was such a good movie.
Watch it if you have not seen it.
I liked it.
I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. It wasn't like scary, it was just good.
It was
like,
a thriller.
It was thriller. It was a
Mhm.
thriller, and it was. You wouldn't have guessed anything that was
Mhm.
going to happen, like at all, at any point.
Yeah. No spoilers here.
No.
But it was I liked it too. Because I'm not much of a horror person. I mean,
Yeah.
I like scary movies, but I have to be with somebody to watch
Me
it. And
too.
like I'm a weenie when it comes to that. But when it comes to like thrillers and stuff, like I can do that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like it's not too
That's what I'm saying. It
scary.
wasn't scary.
Yeah.
It was just a good movie.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen it. Look at me.
Okay.
You were like, oh, darn. But I will watch it again with you.
When did you watch it?
Ugh.
Like a long time ago?
I wouldn't say a long time ago, but maybe a couple weeks ago.
Weeks? Wow.
2 weeks ago?
Wow.
Oh. Was
Who
I ahead of the game?
who showed you?
Me?
Oh, you just found it?
I saw it on TikTok, like stuff for it. So that's how I found it.
Okay.
But yeah,
Well, watch it. It's really good.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
Mhm.
Actually, 9 out of 10. There's better, I wouldn't say not. There's better movies out there.
I think
but
it's
hate
my
to-
favorite movie right now.
Oh, okay.
Right now.
I don't think I have a favorite.
Not of
movie
all
right now.
time.
Okay. Well, anyways, next thing. So we did obsessing. I don't. Where are we at?
You didn't say what you're obsessing over.
Oh wait, yes I did. I talked about fall home decor.
Oh my goodness. Why do we keep forgetting what you said?
Anyway,
Like, I'll say
we get on a tangent.
I say mine and then we're like, go back to you and you already said yours. Okay, what are you recommending?
I am recommending kind of like for this time as we're going into like, well, now we're really in fall, but the fall winter season. For me, something that I recommend, even just I'm moving out right now, and I think it would have helped, but a fall room closet clean out because I feel like we always do like that spring clean out, but as we're going from summer to fall, like we're switching out clothes, we're starting to wear sweaters and sweatshirts and be a little more bummy, like stuff like that. So it's nice to go through your summer closet, get rid of what you actually didn't wear, and then kind of prepare your fall closet if you have the ability to do so. But I think for me it helped because as I'm going through my room and packing things up, I just realized how much stuff that I've accumulated during the year so far.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this needs to go. Like, this receipt from January needs to go. Like, why did I hide this in this box? Like, why? So I'm just recommending a good fall closet room clean out.
Well, that's perfect for you because you're moving out.
Exactly.
So like you can do it all right now.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Okay, what I'm recommending, I'm not recommending, not because I don't like it. I'm not recommending 75 soft. I'm just recommending like some of the things that I'm working on. But I do think there's something to say about establishing healthy habits. So like, I don't know, like I wouldn't say I'm recommending like drink a gallon of water, but like like exercising regularly and like trying to fuel your body with good food. I sound really annoying in this episode because I keep talking about this, but like
I don't think so.
But like I mean, those things are important, especially as we get older. Like so I guess I'm recommending like establishing some sort of routine for yourself.
Okay.
But like, not that you have to do all of those things.
I mean, but that's kind of nice. It's like it's fall. It's just a good kickoff. Like,
yeah, because I also think that like at this point in the year, we kind of get lazy with our goals.
I think so too.
A little bit. And then like once January and the new year hit, we're like, okay, wait, let me like actually get back on track. Like, no, let's just get back on track now.
I think we're also about to enter like seasonal depression and like we all tend to like hibernate and kind of just like
And that's actually another thing. Like I'm forcing myself. I'm like, no, I still need to go outside, even though like it's gonna be dark.
It's freezing out.
Yeah, it's gonna be cold. Like I still need to go outside. I still need to like do things like, like just I feel like it's easy to trail off in these next few months, but like we shouldn't. We should try not to. I mean, everything in moderation and like of course relax if you need to relax or like all the things, but
okay,
just my 2 cents.
I mean, I like I said, I like it. We're a motivational podcast at this point too, so
yeah.
Anyways,
so what would we be without a little motivation?
Right. What would we be without us giving our like 2 cents unsolicited?
I mean, that's what this entire thing
exactly.
is.
So, anywho, last thing would be treating. What are we doing? How are we treating ourselves? For me, it's the podcast. What?
What did you recommend?
I recommended the faucet, the closet clean out.
How to make sure we covered you.
We need a teleprompter. Anyways, so how we're treating ourselves.
Yes.
I said it's clearly the podcast has been a treat. I mean, it's expensive. But for me, it's also it's the room, it's the moving out. I say the room. It's the room decor and the moving out decor, like being able to actually get what I want now in terms of like furniture and like how I want to piece things together. Because like in college, like I had a very, very, very small budget. Granted, I'm also balling on a budget here. But as I'm like now kind of getting into the more adult feeling of my apartment and like I can choose the furniture that I want, I'm kind of spoiling myself a little bit, well, hopefully, and using your expertise and kind of just putting together like my own place. So that's
Mhm.
kind of like dropping some money on it. But hopefully, like, it's a place that, like, it's mine room that I feel comfortable in. Like, I just, it's still
Yeah.
like I'm sharing it with roommates. It's not, I'm not buying a house and stuff like that. But
Yeah. It's hard for me to justify spending a lot of money on furniture because when you look at it, you're like, that's just a chair. Like,
Yep.
why is it like these were not to give it away, but like these were like $300. And I'm like, why is a chair $300? Like it's just a chair.
yeah.
But then like I think about it and I'm like, I'm in my apartment so much. Like you want to curate a space for yourself. Like
Yeah.
I'm not saying you need to buy $300 chairs. That's obsessive. But like
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like it's just like you want pieces that are going to make you feel at home
Yeah.
and make you comfortable in your space and it feel like your space and feel like a representation of you.
Yeah.
So like I think it's important to invest in what you're putting into your house. It doesn't mean it has to be expensive pieces. It just means it has to be what you're looking for. Like
Yeah.
I think it's worth
if
investing
if
in.
you think about it, like when you go to college and you get a dorm room and it already has like the furniture, like the dresser and
It
the
felt
bed.
so like
It-
stale and like not
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, to be fair, my dorm had cinder block walls, so it was giving cell.
It was giving jail cell.
Yeah. It was
And
giving
I
jail
will
cell.
say like I have never been so like wanting to be at home
Mhm.
more like since I've moved out and like I changed my bedroom to like what I want it to be. Like it's not my kid bedroom anymore. Like you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
just like I feel cozy and like
Yeah. It's your
good.
place.
I feel good.
know,
I
I
feel at home.
So that's kind of like I said, that's kind of what I've been doing is
Yeah.
treating myself that way because I want to curate a space that it's home.
All right, you guys. Well, I think that was it for the intro.
Are you treating yourself? Did we do that?
Oh, no, we didn't. We're god awful at this. Anyways. I treated myself to eyelashes.
She's like eyelashes. So if you guys don't know, you can get your eyelashes done. But
No, I got eyelash extensions. I've been getting them now for a while, and then for summer I got them off, and then recently for the fall season I got them back on. This time around though I got brown,
I love the brown.
and I really like the brown because it's. I mean, I'm very, as you guys can see if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm very light features. I'm blonde. Like the black was a little harsh for
Yeah.
me.
See, black would make sense on my features because
I
I have black
agree.
eyebrows, dark. Well, right now I have red hair, but I just have dark features. So
Yeah.
like brown would brown would look good, I think.
Yeah,
But
but black wouldn't
be,
look out of place for
yeah,
you.
it would be not as a stark contrast.
Yeah.
So that like the extensions are what gives you kind of like that boost.
Mhm.
And I feel like my eyelashes are black, kind of maybe a little lighter black, brown, maybe. I don't know. So like brown would match, but like I feel like black would really
Yeah.
do something for me. Brown would probably just look more natural.
Yeah.
So
So that's what I'm doing to treat myself. But
I love them. Not my eyelashes, your lashes.
Thank you. And I love my eyelashes.
Fair enough.
Okay, Emily. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
All right, you guys. Well, that was, I think, it for our intro. So we're going to go ahead and get into today's episode.
Mhm.
I would say I'm excited, but like it almost feels wrong.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited just because of this format, but
It's
this
like a
isn't-
more hard-hitting episode.
Yeah.
Both of these back-to-back happen. Like last week's was, this week's will be.
Mhm. It's just
So.
what we're good at.
I mean, dare I say.
Dare I say. But so this is a little bit of a deeper episode. I hate that anyone can relate to this, but at the same time, I know I do, and I know a lot of people do. So it's needed.
Yes. So we're going to be talking about accepting what you think you deserve in relationships and trauma bonding. So fun stuff over here.
Fun stuff, especially if you've been through it.
And I guess just to kick it off, we're going to give a definition of what a trauma bond is. And that is an attachment that develops from a cycle of physical and or emotional trauma followed by positive reinforcement. And I think the key indicator here is that it's followed by positive reinforcement.
Mm-hmm.
And so to give you guys some examples of what that can look like in a relationship, that could be words of affirmation, like, I'm so sorry, I love you, you mean everything to me. I don't know, just words of affirmation. You guys get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Gift giving, like, here's some flowers, here's $1 million.
Shit, give me $1 million.
I mean, like, no, I'm just kidding. Going on a date, things like that. Or it could be physical attention, it could be sex, any of these things.
Yeah. It's anything that really just curates that, like they love me, that positive like feeling that you get from like either being like in, being with that person, if it's quality time, if it, like I said, if it's any of like the five love languages, kind of falls into that.
Yeah. So essentially what this looks like is you're being emotionally abused, you're being physically abused, and then they follow it up with a way to almost justify their behavior.
Hmm.
And
And then not, I wouldn't say sweep it under the rug, but it's almost like that positive reinforcement comes in as like, hey, I did this, but like I love you so much.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I,
It's so you stay,
yeah,
essentially.
exactly.
All right, so we're going to get into some signs of what trauma bonding can look like. And that can be dependency on the abuser,
Hmm.
defensiveness or making excuses to others for the abuser, rationalizing or justifying an abuser's behaviors, isolation from friends and family through manipulation and gaslighting, and then self blame or believing the abuse is their own fault, as in it's your own fault.
Hmm. That's the one that I have an issue with. I
Yeah.
mean, I've experienced symptoms. I've experienced some of these, but that's the heavy hitter for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, damn.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fun episode. But I would say, so like my question for you is like, have you ever experienced either like being in a trauma bond, having someone trauma bonded to you, anything like that?
And that's the thing, because I don't think I have. And so I almost feel like me sitting here and giving you guys advice is not the best fit because I can't say that I've been in an experience where I have felt trauma bonded to somebody or, vice versa. But I do think that I have been in a relationship in the past that was very codependent,
Mm-hmm.
which I will say, like we just went over, being dependent on the abuser is part of, domestic violence and having that trauma bond.
Mm-hmm.
But you can be codependent and it not be a trauma bond.
Yeah.
So
I was about to say codependency definitely plays a
yeah.
role here because once you form that trauma bond, like it's in the name, like you become bonded to that person. So you almost feel like you are codependent on, like they've almost feel like they've just taken over your life.
Yeah.
Where where it's like you're up and down and you're happy, you're miserable, you're sad, you know what I'm saying? And then you feel like you can't leave.
But do you think that people feel like that because it's like, I'm not going to find anyone else?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or like, where do you think that stems from? Do you think it's them, like the abuser kind of saying, hey, you're not going to find anyone better than me, and putting that into your mind? And so you believe that, or you just think that in general, even if they're not saying that. Or like, do you think it's somebody like putting you down, like, no one's going to want you? Like,
I think it could be all of that because I think
yeah.
it depends on the person because someone could maybe not know that they're, I would say, quote unquote, an abuser because like they may just think that like what they're doing is healthy.
Yeah.
And they have, because they just don't, I want to say they don't know any better, but they just haven't been like educated on like this could be toxic.
Yeah.
So it really depends on the person and like how they come across. Like I have experience of being in like in arguments of someone being like, this is your fault. Like no
Mhm.
one's gonna want to be with you because you have this baggage that there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
And I would say like things like in a trauma bond, like symptoms of like being like someone saying that, like it's come up different ways in different relationships that I've had. So I don't want to say I've been trauma bonded to every guy that I've dated, but there are like some, like it's just very difficult to be like, oh, I've trauma bonded to someone because of just like this one symptom. Like you need to sit down and like actually really think like, is there a lot of highs and lows, and like is it pretty consistent? Like after a really bad fight happens, do he or she come back and say like, I'm so sorry, I love you, like this big grand gesture, an apology, stuff like that? But like I just genuinely think it depends on the person because in it depends on the relationship. Like what are you fighting about? What is it physical abuse, is it emotional abuse, is something like is it a trigger? Like it's so
Yeah.
specific.
Yeah. And I will say, like, with my situation, I don't think I had that physical or emotional
Yeah.
abuse, quote unquote abuse. And so that's kind of where I'm like, it was codependency, it wasn't this. But for you, you're saying that, you have had this in the past. So how do you identify between codependency and trauma bonding?
Well, and just to out myself here, and this is something that I'm working on in therapy, I do get codependent in relationships, and that's something that that's just a me thing. That's
Yeah.
something that I'm working on. But the difference where I'm realizing that I had a trauma bond versus the codependency was that one, of course, I felt like I couldn't get out of the relationship because I was dependent on them. But it was the consistency of the highs and lows. It was the high of, oh my God, everything's great. I want to marry this person, or even not even marry. Like I've seen other relationships that I've had, but like, I love you. Like, you're the only one for me, like, blah, blah, blah. And then the low of it being so extremely low, where like
Mhm.
I was now having suicidal thoughts, like that kind of thing. And that's very difficult because, and that was a difficult time in my life, but it's just like so high and so low. Not
Yeah.
just being
Yeah.
like, oh, like, I don't want to leave this person. Like, I'm not going to find anyone like them. Like that. I mean, codependency isn't good. That is
No,
for
it's
sure.
not.
It's not.
Yeah.
And that's like really negative. But it's just like really
And
negative.
that's really negative.
It's just really negative.
No, I mean it's not like you need to be independent in relationships. You need to have your own sense of self and not just conjoin with who you're dating.
Yeah.
Because you need
And
to have
that's
your
what
own
I have an
identity.
issue with.
I do too. Yeah.
Is because like I love a lot. So what happens is I tend to give and give and give, and then I get attached, and then I'm unable to unattach because I'm like, now my identity is now this person, like loving and caring for this person. And when I'm not in a relationship, like I am great. Like I am super, that's the problem though. I am super independent. Like I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like a guy could do one thing wrong and I'm like, I'm done. But then when
Right.
I'm in a relationship and I already have or I built that attachment, I'm like, you know what? He made a mistake. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let it slide past. And then you catch yourself 6 months down the road being like, yeah, he cheated. Like I'm gonna let it pass. And you're like, hey, that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
I just broke out into an accent. Anyways. And that's something that I've dealt with in relationships too. Like that's not just one relationship. I've had several significant others cheat.
Mhm.
And that's where the codependency comes in, where I'm like, you know what? Like it's okay. I understand where they're coming from. Excuse me, but what the fuck? What the fuck?
I understand I was a lot during that time.
I mean, but
So I feel like this can be like a hard self-realization to make because even though the signs might be there, you still have to come to terms with it.
yeah.
So I guess just go into your experience, of course, but then also how you realized it and how you came to terms with that.
Yeah. Well, I think first of all,
I feel like this is like an interview. Like I'm like
interview on
I
my
don't know.
trauma.
It just feels so like therapist and like like the dynamic right now.
Well,
I'm over here like I'm actually like can give you like
Yeah.
I don't know. what
Well,
I'm
if this
saying,
was
but-
like a episode on codependency, I feel like we can both talk. I just feel like
yeah, 1,000%.
specifically of trauma bonding, that is definitely more something that I experienced. So I guess I can talk a little bit more on that.
Yeah.
But not that I'm a therapist or licensed.
We
in
are
any
not
way. I don't
experts at all.
right,
At
but
all.
it's just personal experience. But
Yeah.
I feel like for me, what's good to notice was that the first couple of months of my relationships were always incredible. Like they were always like, they treat me so well, like this is awesome. And like I have I build that that attachment of like, I love this person, like blah 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 blah. And then what happens is you go through that, it's like the honeymoon phase, and then you start to get into the bickering phase. And that's where it's like, at least for me, that's when it usually starts to teeter between, kind of just going back and forth, but then you're going into more toxic habits of how you argue and how you fight, because there's definitely healthier versions of talking things out, and I would say it started in when it didn't become just the bickering, like little arguments, spats, stuff like that.
Because everyone fights.
Yeah, everyone fights.
Yeah.
What
But
really,
one thing I have said to you though is that like yes, couples fight,
Yeah.
but like you need to pay attention to how much you're fighting.
exactly.
Because it should not be constant.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
But everyone fights. Like that's normal.
Yeah.
It's just not.
And some more than others.
Yeah.
But it's all how you argue, and it's how you fix things. Like at least
How you get through arguments is
yes.
key.
Yeah. So it's like,
What the fights look like.
Are you being respectful? Are you still,
What are they about?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then of course how you get through them, like how you listen to each other, how you make up, how you validate the other person, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So some are healthier than others. But for me, what I really noticed was like I said, the really high highs and then the really low lows. And it wasn't just we're high and we're staying there for like, I say high, I'm not talking about drugs, but I'm like, we're feeling great. We love each other. Everything's going great. It wasn't like we were like that for a couple of months and then like we'll have a low and then go back up. I'm talking like one day, maybe 1 or 2 days, we'd be like, this is awesome. We love each other. Let's go on dates, like stuff like that. And then it was like that third day, phew.
But like, what do those lows look like? I guess like
Those
get
lo-
into more details.
Yeah. The lows for me, and especially someone who struggles with mental health, so I struggle with anxiety and depression. Like
I guess you did say suicidal thoughts.
for me, it was the suicidal thoughts. It was like, what's wrong with me? Like, why am I causing these things? Like I turned it around on myself. And that's why I was like the last one of those symptoms not symptoms, but those, what is it? Is it symptoms? Signs, not signs, but those signs of trauma bonding is making excuses for the other person's like mistakes or whatnot, and reflecting or turning them back on yourself and being like, I deserve this. I did this wrong, so I deserve this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But it's also that person telling you that too.
yes,
It's not just you putting it on yourself.
Yes.
It's someone saying like, "Hey, this is you," and
Yes,
you know,
like-
you're the crazy one, and
yeah, like
it's manipulation.
oh, for sure, 1,010%. It's I don't know why I inhaled so hard. I was like, but it's, for example, like I'm like, you know what? Like I want more attention or affection, and I would ask for it, and then they would be like, no, and then I would be upset. I'm like, hey, like I told you like what I needed, and not to expect you to do everything that I asked for all the time, but it's like I'm having a really bad day, and can you please just love on me a little extra, whatever it looks like, blah blah. And they'd be like, no, and I'm gonna be like, why? Just please. And I would get upset about it because I was just like, I want you to just love me, blah blah blah. And they were like, no, and then it would start a fight because they're like, well, I don't have the capacity to, and like I can say no, and like I don't have to do it, and blah blah blah, and which is very true. But like almost a part of your responsibility as a partner is also being there for your partner. And if you're having a bad day, hey babe, like let's let's sit on the couch, like let's watch a movie and just cuddle and get your mind off of it, or talk to me about it, or just say, hey, we don't have to talk. We can just sit, like that's kind of what I was asking for. And it would start a fight because they didn't want to do it. I would get upset, and then they would get mad that I was upset. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like, wow, I told you no, and like you're upset now. And then we'd get into an argument. And at the end of it, like they'd be like, well, this is your fault. I'm mad because you started this.
Yeah.
And that's like, that's wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
And I feel like something with these scenarios, I can't speak for everyone, but at least with like your scenarios, because of course I've been here for a while, I've heard about them. But
She knows.
I know. But I feel like with a lot of at least your experiences, it's been almost them justifying their actions in a way that's like you can't really say anything about it. You can't really disagree because what they're saying is valid or true.
Yep.
But like ethically, it's not. So like in him saying, I can do whatever I want. Yes, you can, technically. Everyone can. But like, what is the respectful thing to do in this situation? Who do I want my partner to be in this situation? Like, those are the things that you have to look at because it's like what they're saying, if you take it at face value, like technically, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so like I think that's where it's hard to navigate because then you second guess yourself and you're like, am I being selfish right now? Am I being too much? Am I asking too much? Like,
see, but that's where.
but you shouldn't.
Well, that's to answer your earlier question. That's where I started to notice this wasn't like it was more of a trauma bond versus
Right. But it can be hard to discover that because for a long time they're going to make you feel crazy.
Oh, for sure. This happened consistently for months.
Yeah.
And you were, to be fair, you were there for it. Like I would be over here crying.
Yeah.
I would be calling you and be like, I don't know what I did. And you're like, Emily, like there's two people in a relationship. Like you had to be the one that constantly remind me, like there's another person in this relationship. It's not just you.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, I also go to therapy. So I was lucky that I had you and my therapist saying like, let's take a step back here. You don't always have those resources. So that's like where, number one, I encourage you to talk to someone about it. Maybe someone that's not as biased. Like I know you want to talk to your friends or your family, and like, of course, they'll probably root for you and want to see you happy, so they may just be like, "Ugh, the other person sucks," or blah blah blah. Like
Yeah.
for me, something that I noticed that I did was I always made excuses for how they treated me.
Mhm.
I always like they got mad, they yelled at me, they said hurtful things, blah blah blah. They cheated. Like I said, I've had experience with partners cheating, multiple partners. So, I don't know what it is, but I always made excuses. I was like, you know what? I'm too much. I am, constantly asking what they're doing, or I'm asking for a lot or whatnot. And sometimes I am. Like I'll give myself that credit where it just depends. Like sometimes I can do that. I could be overbearing. But like I said, part of like at least for me, like part of a responsibility to be in a relationship is to be there for your partner. Especially like for me, like
And to be loyal.
and to be loyal.
Nothing warrants cheating.
Like
Let's just put that out there.
And I always made excuses for it. I'm like, you know what? We're in a bad
Yeah.
spot. Like, I get it. And to be fair, what's different is before that happened, like, I would always remember that, like, cheating is not excusable. Like,
Yeah.
cheating, like, you should never cheat on your partner. But then here I am excusing it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm starting to go back on what my boundaries are in a
Yeah.
relationship. So my boundaries have been crossed by that partner, but now I'm crossing my own boundaries, and I'm just like, shit, that's not a red flag, that's a green flag.
Yeah.
So it's like that's where I was starting to see that it was more of a trauma bond, like things that I wanted in a relationship and things that was important to me in a relationship, I just like let go, because you know what, if the other person didn't want to do it, it was fine. If they didn't want to give it, that was fine. But the thing is everyone has different needs in a relationship. Not everyone's compatible. It doesn't mean the other person's a horrible person, but like for me to have certain needs and for you to have certain needs in a relationship, they're very different. Not that we're dating, but for you to ask a guy for something, and I mean,
Yeah.
for me to ask, my significant other something, can look very differently. And we're not bad. Like I say, we're not bad people, but like I'm biased. But
I'm biased.
I'm biased. But I mean, we're not bad people for inherently having different needs.
No, yeah.
So that's just something that I noticed.
Yeah. And I think too, like, well, okay. Let's take a step back. Clearly, this can look like, in your instance, somebody coming to their partner, asking for something, them neglecting their needs, spinning it on them.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else that you've seen a lot in your partner, like in your experience of dating, where this can show up?
Reword that. I think my brain was like, huh?
Okay, so this can look like you asking for something.
Okay.
You expressing your needs to your partner, like, hey, I want to go on dates.
Mhm.
Hey, I need more reassurance. I want flowers. And them being like, no, you're asking too much, you're crazy, spinning it on you, neglecting your needs. But is there anything else, I guess, that you've seen, any other ways this shows up other than that in your experience of dating? Any other like common things?
I would say I actually overgive. Like another thing was that
No, that they do.
I
That's
mean,
like,
I will hear. That's what I was gonna say. I'm
Okay.
gonna get into it. I will overgive. So
Okay.
I will notice. It's like the cat and mouse game. So I'll notice how when I am more myself and I'm not trauma bonded or codependent, they tend to give more. They tend to be like, all right, let's go on dates, blah blah blah. I would say for them, I would always see them back off. Like I'm talking, and I know they wouldn't do things, but I'm talking they didn't do anything. Like it was almost that they were just present, and that was enough. Like I'm talking like there was nothing that really moved forward in the relationship. And whenever we talked, they were always cold. Then they always said things that sounded pretty. Does that make sense?
oh,
So like they would be like, okay, you know what? I love you. It's fine. We'll work through it. But like nothing ever came of it.
like empty promises.
Empty promises. There was no actual actions. So that was something that I saw.
Okay.
And I feel like that was pretty frequently. Like that, I would say like that's something that I noticed a lot, was that whenever we'd have the arguments, like I'd want to be like, I would come from a place of like, at least I would try to come from a place of like understanding and like, I'm sorry. Like I really didn't mean to do that or blah, blah, blah. But they never came from that place. It always was usually frustration or anger.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess hard hitting question.
Oh God.
What would you say to getting out of it? Because I feel like, of course, it kind of starts with realizing it. One, obviously, you can't do anything unless you realize it. Two, I think that you have to rework your mindset because, at least with you and like the signs we just went over, it's very much so negative self talk and feeling like you're the problem and feeling like you're the one that caused this and that, everything's your fault. So, first of all, you need to get to the point where you realize that's not the case. And then you need to backtrack and get your mind out of that spot. So, you have to stop with the negative self talk. So,
Hmm.
I guess that would be like number one.
I mean, that, and like I said, I want to say that's given, and that's,
Yeah, I mean, that's given.
yeah.
But is there anything else, I guess, that you would say?
Honestly, I think the biggest thing for me was having a good support group first, because the issue is that I internalized everything.
Mhm.
So, of course, it's stopping the negative self talk, and it's, trying to get away from that. And that, like I said, that's almost given, almost, I wouldn't say common sense, because when you're in it, you're in it. Like, you don't see, like, you're in the weeds, you don't see stuff.
Rose-colored glasses all the way. Like, I would say to me as an outsider, I'm like, Emily, like, shaking you. Like, why can't you see what is happening here? And you'd be over here like, is that emotional abuse? Like,
Yeah.
is that what this is? Because you just weren't sure.
And that's
And
the,
your therapist would have to sit there and be like, Emily, like, let's go over what emotional abuse is. Let's look at this diagram of what it can be. How many things from this does he have? And you'd be like, well, that one and maybe that one. Like,
yeah.
and then you realize you're like, wow.
But see, because here's the thing, I would gaslight myself, and I'm like,
Yeah.
but you know what? Maybe he's just going through something. Maybe he's, just, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe he's not
Yeah.
actually trying to do that. It's presenting that way, and I'm just reading it wrong.
And to be fair, I can't even blame you because I do this too. I've just never been in a situation where it's like this bad, like
Yeah.
where it's like abuse. I don't mean to put quotes around that, like this is abuse, but like you know what I mean. Like I've never been in a situation where it's this bad, but like I make excuses for things all the time, like people just mistreating me.
Yeah.
So, and that sounds awful, but like we do it. It's easy to
Yeah.
be like, well, like everyone's human and everyone makes mistakes and everyone goes through things and maybe it's just a bad time and maybe he didn't mean to and blah blah blah. But like, and I think there's a difference between. I'm sorry, I asked you a question and I'm just like rambling, but there's there's a difference between someone going through something and being human and and then just mistreating you and drawing that boundary or that line where you need to set a boundary and realize that you need to walk away versus like it's acceptable to forgive.
Yeah.
Because I do think that I do think that we should be forgiving. And I think some people are very like, you mess with me once, you're done. And maybe I am biased because
I have friends like that, and they
yeah,
can do that. And
I
I'm
do
like,
too. And I mean, more power to them. Like, if you can stand your ground and be like, nope, you get one chance with me and that's it. Like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with being forgiving. You just need to know when to draw the line to not be walked over.
mhm. I mean, that's exactly, I mean, essentially what happened is I started being walked all over. But
Yeah.
I, I don't know. I forgot your question.
How'd you get out of it?
Oh.
I was like, I did too.
I was like, but I would say, like, of course, the first step is knowing that something is happening. Just something is
Yeah.
happening, because that's the first step. And of course, again, repeating myself like for the fifth time, stopping the negative self talk, because a lot of it was, I'm the problem. Why, why do I deserve this? Why is he or she doing this to me? Um, so the first thing was being able to talk to you and my therapist, because I think for me, since I internalized it all and I would gaslight myself because I didn't trust myself that these feelings that I had were valid. So honestly, it was making these words physical. Like, it was talking to you and my therapist about it. It was being like, is this bad? It was honestly like asking you that question, because like I needed help to understand and see this almost clearly, because not only am I in the weeds, but I have these rose colored glasses on and I have triple color glasses on top of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to see. It's that stereotypical, like, you know how to solve my problem because you're not in it, and I know how to solve your problem because you're not in it. But like, when we look at our own problems, we're like, how do we solve this?
Yeah.
So that's the first step, was like how I even just took a step out of this.
Mhm.
And then two, and this is going to be the one that really sucks, because when you're trauma bonded, you can't get out of it. But the biggest thing, like, that I recommend, and I know you recommended it 1,000 times and I never wanted to do it, but it's taking space from the person. Because it's hard for you to really understand like if your feelings are true and they're not being manipulated or influenced is being truly by yourself
Mhm.
and not having this person in your ear. Granted, I say that and it is so hard. Like I wasn't even living like with any of my exes. Like I've never experienced that where I've lived with a person where I can't actually leave, like have that separation.
Yeah.
So when you're in a relationship or you're married or whatnot, or you're dependent on this person, like maybe financially, or you have a kid, like that's so extremely hard. But it's finding little ways. So if that is the case, it's finding little ways to gain that independence and that space. So it's whether it's maybe it's picking up a new hobby that they're not a part of. Or if it's you taking an hour or two during the day to go just to the library or to like a calming spot where you go walking or it's just to sit with yourself,
Mhm.
because that's when you're truly yourself. You're thinking through things, you're being introspective, and no one's sitting on your shoulder. But like I said, it's difficult because for me, I gaslit myself. So I
Yeah.
never knew what was true and what was not. So at least for me, it was, and writing too is another thing that I did. But I
Yeah.
think that's like one of the most impactful ways to do that.
Yeah. And I mean, I know that not everyone has the ability to go to therapy, but I do think that that's almost where the realization came from because
Yep.
it was that unbiased opinion telling you the same things that I was telling you, but of course I'm going to root for you. And so if I hear anything that, you're being mistreated or anything that I think is you're being mistreated, I'm gonna be like, well, fuck him, like you deserve better. You know what I mean?
I
Like
mean,
we
of
we do
course.
that as people, like as friends, like we're gonna root for our friends.
Yeah.
But over here you might be like, well, like I didn't actually say the whole story. They don't know his story, they don't know him, they don't know why it happened.
Mhm.
Like you start to make excuses and maybe it's true, maybe I don't know the whole story, but like in you telling it to your therapist, it's a very unbiased opinion. They don't know your partner. They have your best interest at heart, but they also are going to give you the facts and walk
For sure.
through things with you and make you think in different ways. So like that is that unbiased opinion. So I would say if you can, that might be where you get that realization. But I mean, of course, I think it does. If you can't do that, I think it does start as well with just stepping away from the situation, which is so much easier said than done.
Shit.
So much easier
If
said
you
than
could
done.
just say, take a step away, I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, honestly, like just
it wouldn't be hard. That's why it's not.
yeah,
It wouldn't be like a trauma bond. It's just a
it would
not
just yeah,
bond. No bond.
no bond,
Not bond. What the heck?
But yeah, so okay, so I feel like we've gone through like what this looks like, how you get out of it. But then of course, once you get quote unquote out of it, there's still a process of like healing from
Yeah.
it and finally digesting all of it because you almost aren't while you're in it. And then even when you're out of it, I don't think you're fully looking at everything from the larger picture, but then that happens once you have space.
Yeah.
And that can be difficult because then it's having that space and having the confidence in yourself to walk away,
Mhm.
but that it's convincing yourself to stay away.
Yeah.
Is the hardest part.
Oh, going no contact. And I know a lot of people, even when it's not even a trauma bond, just
Yeah.
breaking up and going
Yeah.
no contact with like your ex or your significant other is one of the hardest things you'll have to do because it's somebody that you're bonded with, you're had a relationship with that you love or whatnot, and it's hard to just go from having this person in your life to not at all,
Yeah.
especially a trauma bond.
Yeah.
Because you're now not only codependent, but like you're used to this cycle of up and down, that you don't know that what's going to be next.
Yeah. And like I feel like when you're in that cycle, you almost like don't want stability.
No,
You crave the highs.
that's exactly what that is.
So like if nothing's happening and it's just this like level playing field, you're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And you want to go back to that like chance where you get the highs, even though
Mhm.
you're also sacrificing it for lows.
1,010%. And I think that's one of the main things that happened when I was trying to heal from it. And I say try because it's always trying. Like you're never, I mean, I don't want to say you're never fully healed, but it takes time. And I
Yeah.
would say I'm not even fully healed yet,
Mhm.
But that was one of the things is I always wanted to talk to them. Like or just them, but I wanted to talk to them. I wanted to reach out to them, see how they were doing, or just some part of me wanted to just get that high, of like they love me, they miss me,
Yeah, get reassurance.
But then, like I said, I would always not think about the lows of, what if they said screw you? What if they didn't actually want to talk to me? Or what if I'm blocked or something like that?
Yeah.
But I would say that there was a lot of tears. A lot of tears. That is one thing. I think that it was a lot of tears, a lot of writing, a lot of second guessing myself. It it was just a really painful time, I think. And I say not to get deep, or I was gonna say that, but like we've been deep this whole episode. But it was just a really painful time of coming to terms of what actually happened and like what was the true perspective of it versus being so clouded and having the rose colored glasses on. And it's daunting because a lot of the scenarios that you'll replay in your head, and trust me, you will replay because you're trying to get that high. Like you want to be like, "Oh, the memories, the Snapchat memories. What are they doing on Instagram?" Like it's funny because like I would go back to like pictures, and this is with any relationship I had. I would go back to pictures and be like we're like, oh, like that was such a cute picture. We had so much fun. But then I think about it, I'm like, we argued that day. Like we fought that day. Like it was a cute picture, but like we weren't happy.
Yeah.
But your brain will try to like honestly, like I said, find the high, and like they'll look at old pictures. And I know like when my sister went through her breakup too, she did the same thing. She was like, oh, look how happy we were. And I was like, you weren't happy.
Yeah.
I'm
It's like you only remember the good things.
yeah, because your brain
Your brain
does that.
shuts off the bad things. Yeah.
So that's why I said like almost like space is needed, because one, you're it's just like any type of addiction. Your brain needs to go through that withdrawal.
Yeah.
And so that's just like honestly, that's just what the healing looked like. It was a lot of ups of like, oh my gosh, I'm doing great. Like I can be single, I'm having fun with my friends, to being so low and being like, I miss him. Like I want to reach out to him. Like I love him. Like we were great. Like I messed up. Like stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
and I think eventually it's like after you go up and down, you kind of come to that plateau of, you know what, I do love him. And maybe I always will love him, or I have that love for him. But we were toxic, or, we weren't great together. Maybe we'll be great in a year, 2 years, 3 years. I don't know. No one knows the future. But I'm a firm believer of if it's meant to be, it will be. Nothing
I agree.
nothing that is ever for you will ever leave. Or when I say leave, be truly gone.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
agree.
just like, I don't know, it's kind of what it looked like. That's my perspective on, like, that's how I felt about it.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. And I think that's rocky though, because I do think that what's meant for you will find its way to you. And I do think that people can break up and get back together and it work and, they stay together. But I do think that when you're going through something and when you're going through a breakup or when you're going through that no contact or, in this instance, you're going through that healing phase from everything, you can't cope with that in your mind. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't heal by telling yourself that we'll get back together and everything will be okay, because that's not truly healing. That's like putting a Band-Aid over it.
That's just procrastinating. That's sweeping it under the rug.
Exactly. It's lying to yourself, because like you can't predict the future. You don't know. And I think it's okay to be like, you know what? If we get back together, we get back together. But if we don't, I'm also okay with that. That's what healing looks like.
And I will be okay.
Yeah. And I know that, and I say this because I know that we went through.
I mean, we basically did.
We went through phases where like you would tell me I'm feeling better, but it would be this, like I just feel like we're gonna be good, and in a year we'll like date again or something. And I'd have to be like, Emily, like I'm glad that you're in a better place, but like let's work on just being good with just Emily, and not this image of getting back together in a year and you guys growing as people and, getting back together. If that happens, great. And I think it's also rocky, because I think that there's certain things that you don't come back from. In some instances, like if you're, I'm sorry, if you're being like hit.
Yeah.
Like.
That's not okay.
No, it's not okay. None of this is okay. And I think there are certain things that just you don't come back from. You shouldn't. But I mean, I don't know. I don't even want to sit here and say like some things are better than others, or some things are forgivable and some things aren't. I think that's for you to decide and for you to know what's best for you.
I mean, that's setting your own boundaries.
But I mean, if you're being abused, like no one deserves that. There's
No.
no
And no one who truly loves you and cares for you
no.
would do that.
And there's no excuse for that. And so I just want to put that out there. I think in general, getting back together with somebody, you can and you
Yeah.
can make it work. And it can be great with that space and growing as people and maturing as people because that happens. I mean, what? Like you're 23, like you're going to be so different, years from now.
Oh, for sure.
Same with me. Like I'm going to be different years from now. Like
For sure.
we're going to grow so much as people. And so, we might be immature right now or we might handle things in the wrong way, but then with more experience and wisdom later on, we'll be able to handle it better.
Mhm.
But there are certain things I think where you need to just draw the line.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that kind of goes into like, I think one of our last questions was like, can you actually have a successful relationship with, and I say like with that person, with that significant other that I wouldn't say abuse is a very harsh word, but that abuser, whether it's physical or emotional, can you have a successful relationship with this person? And it kind of, and my answer, at least for that, is very similar to what you're saying. Is I think there are some things that you can't come back from, and I think it also depends on what boundaries you set after you've had that space and like you've relearned kind of like who you are, like truly, and what your boundaries are truly. And I think it's very hard for people who have trauma bonds just because a lot of times you love this person so much that you may still have love for them even after they've done something so horrific to you.
Yeah.
That it's just like you said, I think the best way to view it is learn how to love yourself and be there for yourself and be independent before you think about having a relationship with them. And even if you think, for example, I don't know, 5 years down the road, you somehow reconnect after you've split up and it's going great. Who's to say you both have learned, you both have grown, you've both changed some of those toxic ways. So I think it is possible to have a successful relationship. It's so difficult because this doesn't apply to like everybody because somebody's level of trauma could be very different from somebody else's, but that's not to negate or invalidate anyone's trauma. But it's you sitting down with yourself and being like, this is something I don't want to revisit. I don't want to be subjected to. So I feel like that question of is it possible is it's based off the person and what really are your boundaries.
And I don't know because I feel almost wrong in saying that you can because this is such a heavy episode and what we're talking about is essentially domestic violence
Mhm.
and being physically and mentally abused and manipulated. And I think there's no excuse for that. And I mean, truthfully, I don't think there's coming back from that. And I feel wrong sitting here and telling viewers that there is. But it is hard because it's,
But it happens and people do go back. People
I
have
know.
and people can have successful relationships. That's why it's so
And this
at least
is,
for me, that's why I think that it is possible.
and we're just,
Not to say, but I think it's more like it's like a 1%, 2% thing. Like it's like an exception to the rule.
yeah. And that's what I'm saying. It's hard. I don't want to sit here and say, like, you can come back from this. Like, it just, it feels wrong. And it feels like we shouldn't be making a joke about it. It feels wrong because I know that this spectrum of what this can look like can
Mhm.
be so severe that it feels so wrong to even like make some sort of exception to the rule. But I do understand that, let's say you're in a relationship where you ask for flowers, okay? And they're like,
Mhm.
no, why would I get you flowers? That's ridiculous. And they manipulate you into thinking that that's ridiculous.
Or I would say, just to give an example, like manipulating, be like, well, just because you asked for flowers, I'm not going to give you flowers. Or
Yeah.
to make it more that, because like,
Yeah.
some people just may not
Yeah.
want to get flowers or some just put that
Yeah.
out there.
But like manipulating you into thinking that you're asking for too much or whatever. Can you come back from that? Yeah. Like
Yeah.
you can, like I wouldn't say that's unforgivable. I would say that if that's a pattern and that's what's happening in your relationship, like you asking, and not just for flowers, but like just basic things that you want out of your partner, like
Yeah.
things that are important to you in relationships and they're not meeting you in the middle or you're not seeing eye to eye, that's when you walk away, of course, and you're not good together at that point in time. But like in theory, can you come back from that? Yeah. Like that's not unforgivable in my personal opinion. But I don't want to sit here and like make this a whole, like, yes, you can.
Like a motivational, like, you can come
Yeah.
back from it, just take some space.
Because that's not what this is. Like, I mean, this literally can range from so extreme.
Oh, for sure.
And I don't want anyone to sit here and start justifying things that are just messed up.
Yeah.
So, like, that's kind of what we're saying. Like, you know, you can be manipulated into thinking that getting flowers is ridiculous. Is that right? No. Is that forgivable a year from now? Sure.
If you talk about
Sure.
it and then they change and like, you know what, I realized I was wrong in doing that. Like, I'm gonna start giving you flowers. Like, and they're consistent. Then you know what I'm saying? Like, that's something.
But sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. But then with that, that's also maybe not what we're talking about here.
Very true.
You know what I mean? Like,
We're
that's
talking
maybe
about drama.
yeah, like that's maybe that's not even in the ballpark of where a trauma bond happens and where it is truly, you know, physical and emotional abuse. So it's identifying those things, like, you know, manipulation is a part of this, of course, but like maybe you're not at that scale yet.
Yeah.
So you can come back from it. I guess I just want to make that distinction because I mean it really does feel wrong to sit here and be like, you can, because
No, I agree with you. I think that's why I think trauma bonding is such a fine line of, can you come back from it with a relationship or can you not?
yeah.
And that's why it's so specific on someone's situation, that we're not here to tell everybody that's in a relationship that has a trauma bond, you can be successful. You can come back from this. And when I say successful, I meant in the relationship. So that's why it's like I say, take our advice with a grain of salt, because this really is where you need to sit down and think to yourself, what is happening here?
Mhm.
And whether it's sitting down with a friend or a therapist or somebody that can see it from not being in the weeds or having the rose colored glasses on and be like, you know what, like what you did, I mean, like that's fucked up. Like, what? And because it almost takes somebody that is not in it to bring that realization out. So that's why I said it's so specific on people's situation. I just genuinely think that I just want to encourage people to advocate for themselves and take their mental health and their well-being as top priority. Not to say that you need to ignore everybody else, but I'm just saying is like, you need to focus on yourself and figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know that's kind of like a roundabout like summary of everything, but like genuinely it's being able to sit and be introspective. And that's why I say it takes space, because it's hard when someone's in your ear in the relationship to do that. But I just genuinely think in specific, I would say in regards to trauma bonding, most of the time, no. But I always would say, not to say it's impossible. It's more of like, if that happens and you're successful and it's like years from now or blah, 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 and you've done your growth and whatever, sure, maybe it could be a possibility. But like, so that's the exception to the rule. Not that that's pretty common.
Yeah.
Just to be the bearer of bad news here.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely stress, like, most likely no.
Yeah.
But I think it's identifying, you know, because I mean, I hate to say it, like, I don't think anyone should be mistreated, but like, you know, you can date when you're 20 years old and be mistreated and be manipulated. And then you come back, get together at 28, they're a totally new person. And I just think it depends on what happened when you were 20. If, you know, you're going to be successful in that relationship, or it's worth giving it another go. I mean, everyone's, I guess, idea of this is going to be different, but you know, we're not here to tell you like this is okay and this isn't. Like, that's for you to decide. But I do think that you have to keep in mind that there's some instances in this case where I don't think that you should go back with that person.
Yeah.
More times than not, it's, you know, really anything that we've listed here today. So yeah, I know that's kind of like a sour note to end on.
I know. I was about to be like, and long story, bad note short. Like,
yeah, it's a little sour of a note to end on. But I do just want to say that if you or someone you know is a victim of domestic violence, we will leave the hotline below. So you can text that, you can call that if you do need help. We are not experts in this situation by any means. And if you or someone you know does actually need help, please seek it. So we will have that down below for you guys to check out. No, I'm just kidding.
Out.
No joke needed for this. For you guys to go look at. So
Kaylee and I like to cope with like heavy topics with humor.
Yeah. And I do want to put out there as well that like neither of us have been physically abused. So like we can't even fathom what that's like.
Yeah.
And so that's not what we're speaking about today. I
It's
mean
more
that does
emotional,
that does
at least from in my experience.
yeah, like that I mean that does fall under what we're talking about and
Yeah.
you can develop a trauma bond from that. But, Emily's experience is an emotional abuse.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm here for moral support.
Moral support. You know what? That's the best like scenario is like having someone to be able to talk through things and have someone to support and then be like, you know what, Emily, like maybe you were wrong here, but they were also wrong too. So like it's nice to have that. And I know not everyone does. So I can't thank you enough for that. And how many times you were been on the phone with me or just talking to me or blah blah blah. That's something like I'm always grateful for. But like Haley said, unfortunately, on the range of trauma bonding, physical abuse is part of it. And to those out there that are experiencing this, please know that you don't ever deserve that. You never ever should. So it's just it makes me sad. But on hopefully a better note, we hope you guys can take some points of advice away from this and from at least some of my experiences in terms of the emotional side of things. But we will have a lot more videos coming out, so that's exciting. And a little bit lighter videos as well.
There's no good way to end this.
I know. But we hope you guys have a great rest of your Thursday. We love you, and we will talk to you very shortly.
Bye, guys.
Bye.